Most extreme natural disasters caught on camera, number 14. Natural disasters are a sobering reminder that Mother Nature is not always what we see. She may be evil at times. From the bone-chilling strength of gigantic avalanches sliding down mountain slopes, to the horrific dance of tornadoes twisting across landscapes with lethal precision, today's captures will leave you speechless. So, get ready to see the power of raging wildfires destroying whole woods and the breathtaking strength of huge storms destroying coastal towns. Kangen is located in the heart of central Java, Indonesia, and emanates a dynamic appeal despite its tropical rainforest-like environment. Around 73,000 people live in this busy town, which has always moved to the beat of the Java Sea and the Indian Ocean, which bring wild rainstorms and strong winds that often sweep through its streets. On November 6, 2022, the weather and other factors came together to put the people of the town to the test. As dark clouds covered the sky, Bang Royce, a neighborhood security guard, was at his job outside. He was supposed to keep an eye out for people who might try to rob the bank, but he had no idea that a much bigger threat was right behind him. Bang Royce could do nothing but watch as the storm hit Kangen and showed how angry nature could be. His attempts to protect the bank from human threats failed in the face of this stormy attack. Rain poured down like rivers from the sky, and the wind screamed its anger at everything in its way. Bang Royce stood strong and whispered a sincere thank you to the storm, recognizing its power. The wind's strength caused chaos, with trees falling on cars and roofs that weren't ready for it. Yet, by some wonder, fate kept the people of the town from getting hurt. No one was hurt by the falling objects, and everyone was saved from the storm's angry grip. On March 4, 2018, the international airport in Jiangxi province was hit by a storm that no one had seen coming. Rain fell from the sky and hit the tarmac, and winds blew at an incredible 83 miles per hour, taking control of the area and making it impossible for any planes to leave or arrive. Chaos danced on the runway as alien objects moved and turned, turning the once orderly area into a dangerous maze. Inside Terminal 2, there was a lot of noise from surprised gasps and worried whispers. Passengers who had dreamed of faraway places and long-awaited reunions were caught up in a surprise show. When they looked out the windows of their plane, which was stuck in the air, they saw something that could only be called surreal. The roof, which was struggling to hold up against the force of nature's anger, slowly gave up and fell in on itself. The rubble was spread all over the runway, making it look like a crazy tapestry. It was a clear example of how powerful nature can be. Even though there was a lot of chaos and broken glass, a silver lining appeared. In the middle of this terrifying disaster, no one died. Still, the people who lived there and saw what happened will never forget it. One visitor said that he or she had the feeling that the world was racing towards its end. The fierce wind shook their nerves, and they were nervously waiting for the windows that kept them from the storm to break. Officials at the airport were sure that the building was safe and sound, so they moved quickly to make sure that the stuck tourists were safe and well. They cleverly rerouted new arrivals through the maze of halls where people were leaving, making a path to their brief safe haven. Zillenhat, located in Inner Mongolia, China, is a charming city with a long history. During the Ming Dynasty, it was the home of Genghis Khan's eldest brother, and it today has a population of over 250,000 people. More than half of the city's population lives in the metropolitan area, while the rest lives in the tranquil rural surroundings. The peacefulness of this magnificent location, however, was disrupted on June 24, 2020, by an awe-inspiring natural phenomenon, a huge tornado. Residents in rural areas witnessed the awe-inspiring scene as the tornado dropped from the clouds. Its shape was reminiscent of a ghost's ghostly tail, delicately twisting and swirling through the atmosphere. The tornado took on the classic hue and shape as it moved forward, spinning with enormous intensity and accumulating dirt and debris in its vortex. Observers were astounded by its halfway transition, noticing the change in colors and forms as it could only attract dust particles up to a particular height. Surprisingly, no casualties or significant damage were recorded as the tornado passed over the countryside, gradually fading until it vanished. Even though it was scary at first, This strange weather event didn't do too much damage to Zillenhot. The city's tenacious residents, both urban and rural, were unhurt as the tornado swept through the countryside. The good result of this meeting with nature's forces showed how prepared the city was and how well its disaster management plans worked. In the summer of 2017, the area around Yulin and the nearby towns were hit by constant flooding, which was a terrible event. Over the course of a few days, heavy downpours dumped more than 4 inches of rain in a single day. The amount of rain was too much for a nearby dam, so it broke and flooded the area. So, a strong flow of water came rushing out of the dam, flooding the streets with nearly 10 feet of standing water. About 20,000 people had to leave their homes to get away from the terrible storms, which was a terrible thing to happen. In the middle of this disaster, brave people who stayed behind took pictures of what was happening from higher ground. Their videos showed how the overflowing Yushi River poured into the streets around it and flooded the area. The strong currents eroded the land near the river so much that whole houses were destroyed by the flood and taken away by its relentless power. This video shows how terrible things got after the dam broke. The amount of damage caused by the floods was unbelievable. Reports said that about 17,000 acres of farms were destroyed, and that mud and rubble covered over 600 miles of roads. Also, about 1,400 homes were badly damaged by the disaster, and 43 of them were completely destroyed. The accident cost the economy over 38 million yuan, which is about $5.5 million. This was a huge loss for the area, which is still trying to recover. Deep in the Tyrrhenian Sea, there is a beautiful island, a fiery island that stands tall and proud in the blue seas. Its name is Mount Stromboli, and it is a beautiful guardian that makes everyone look at it. This flaming giant is one of Italy's 4 active volcanoes, and it has the power to attract both curious people and brave ones. People say that this volcanic paradise is home to 3 heavenly beings called the Aeolian Boys. Born of gods, Helen, Poseidon, and Hippotes, they give the island a mysterious, magical feel that comes from Greek mythology. People in modern Italy think of Stromboli as the lighthouse of the Mediterranean because its fiery blasts at night make the seas look like they are lit by the stars. Tourists from all over the world come to see this amazing show, pulled like moths to the beautiful flames. But on a day in the summer, nature chose to put on a more dramatic show, one that would go down in volcano history. The date was August 28, 2019, and those who were there will never forget what happened that day. A live webcam that was pointed at Stromboli and did its job well captured a daytime explosion that was amazing in its size and power. The camera's lens did a good job of capturing the beautiful show, but its weak microphone broke under the force of Stromboli's roar. Usually, the volcano isn't very powerful during the months when it's not active, but that summer, Stromboli chose to let out all of its anger. It shook the island in a way that had never been seen before. Volcanologists held their breath as 2 huge eruptions, one on July 3rd and another on that deadly day in August, shook the peaceful lives of 2 nearby towns on the island. So that's all for the video, and if you don't want to miss out on the chance to experience the power of nature firsthand, click that subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay up to date on more mind-blowing videos like this one. And remember that even though these natural tragedies are amazing, they also show how important it is to be ready and work together when things go wrong. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next intriguing adventure.